Hi guys, welcome back to another video review, and today we're going to be looking at the brand new Airfix Vickers Wellington that's just come out, I think about a week and a half ago. Just received this in the post about 3 days ago, had a good look through the kit, and now I'm making the video on it. A bit of back history though on the Wellington. It came into service about 1938 and was one of the principal bombers for Bomber Command, and it was pretty much superseded by the sort of long-range heavies, the 4-engine stuff like the Sterling, Halifax, and especially the Lancaster. One of the major things about the Wellington was its durability. Now, it was made of a geodetic construction where there's lots of aluminium beams going around the whole aircraft, and it could lose entire sections of it because the load was spread across the whole superstructure of the aircraft, as opposed to just one area, which led to a lot of stories of the aircraft coming back with more than one section north of the fuselage missing from it. So without further ado, let's have a look at the box, and we'll go through the kit sprue by sprue, and we'll have a look at the decals and the instructions as well. So the kit comes in a very typical Airfix box. You've got a couple of the marking schemes here, a lovely piece of artwork on the front, a bit of information about it here. On the side, a bit more information about each type that you got here. The flying hours on the side of the box. And that's pretty much it. It's a top opener, which is my preferred type of box to work with, so you can keep things inside it. So inside here you've got the instructions, which is a booklet, A4 booklets type. You've got the marking schemes here on an A3 piece, double-sided, in full colour. These would all be in a bag for the sprues, but we've got the decals. These look good. Don't look too thick. Should go on nicely as well. All the glass and clear components all come in an individually packaged bag. And then we've got the sprues that are part of the kit. So now we're going to go through the sprues one by one, have a look at the detail on this kit. So this is the fuselage. This has the bomb doors already on there. I think these can be removed, and a section can be put in place that has the bomb doors closed. As you can see already, you can see the geodetic construction through the open areas here, and if I flip it over, it carries on for the whole of the inside. This is absolutely awesome looking at it. I've already had a good look through this kit, and so far I'm already really impressed. I've seen a couple of builds of this already, and it looks fantastic. So you've got the geodetic construction all the way through the inside. There's also some controls here as well. This is the engines and the rear control surfaces, and the engine cowlings as well. So these are the Bristol Pegasus engines that powered this version of the Wellington. They look nicely detailed. Got some raised bits in there as well. See the exhaust, inlet and exhaust ports on there as well. That looks quite nice. And then we've got one of the wings and one of the engine nacelles. One thing I do really like about this kit is how Airfix have managed to, I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but you can see on here where the canvas is almost stretched over the geodetic design, and it's scalloped between there. Now I know some kits either don't have this at all, so it's too shallow, or it can be way too deep and it just doesn't look realistic, but they seem to have got that just right, and they've textured that lovely. We've also got one part of the inside of the bomb bays and some of the engine nacelles as well. They've got some internal structural detail in there as well. And here's the other wing. Same sort of scalloping on the wings between the structural braces there as well. This looks like the main sort of interior compartments here, as well as the wing spar. Some bulkheads and framework inside there. All really nicely detailed. Next sprue has a lot more of the internal detail, so control panels and looks like the dashboard, landing gear, it's a pilot seat possibly, That looks like it's part of the engine nacelles there. It's also got its bomb load and some of the armament, as well as, yeah, it's definitely got the turret guns here as well. Don't know what these are, probably flares or something from the inside. It's like radio operator's gear, pilot's seat, all very nicely detailed. I think the only real flash I've seen is probably a little bit on that part there. So it's very well moulded as well. Doesn't look like there'd be any problems cleaning them up. Doesn't look like there's too much cleanup to do either at all, if there is any. And the final sprue that comes in the kit is more of the structural internal structure. Sorry, the like bulkheads and framework. That's also got a door in there as well. It looks like the back of the engine nacelles here. Oxygen tanks, control surfaces, and that looks like the spare bomb door if you're going to have them closed. So it's got the exhaust on here as well. It's got very long exhaust on this aircraft, which almost go across the entire wing surface. Yeah, all in all, I think Airfix have really outdone themselves on this. They've really gone to town on it. Just looking at the detail so far. So what we'll do now, we shall get the instructions out and have a look. So one thing, I haven't seen any other 72nd Airfix kits. I couldn't really speak for any others due to not really doing any other scales. I've never had this part here in any kits that I've seen, and it's basically stating that a lot of the parts that are highlighted in green don't actually need to be put in due to the fact you'd never actually see them on the completed model. I still think if it's there, you should definitely build it, because then you know it's there inside the model. But yeah, that's showing a lot of green parts on there, so probably need some more windows. It'd be nice to do maybe a cutaway version of this, which would be cool. So look at this, you build up the interior floorways and walkways and that. Looks like some kind of wireless operator or radio operator's seat here on the bulkhead. It's a clear part for windows that lead into the bomb bays. Some more, I think it's the pilot's seats and the pilot's controls. Here it's showing that if you want to have the bomb bay doors closed, you cut out all the sections that were open. Put in some of the internal details to the oxygen tanks. I'm not sure what that is. It's a life raft or a stretcher or something along those lines. Put the walkway and main floor pan into there. Start putting in some of the bulkheads and internal structure. Like a table as well. Some more of the bulkheads to go in. Some more of the internal detail going in as well. More bulkheads, and there's a strip at the back end here as well. That's probably where the rear tail sits as well. 2 more bulkheads in there. There's more oxygen tanks. I think they're flares of some description, like marking flares. Wing spar goes in, and then you shut it up. As always, the Airfix kit does offer to have landing gear up and down as well. So this has, yeah, I was right, that part is from the landing gear. So you build that onto the upper wing, yeah, the upper wing there. Build up the nacelles, and then place the lower half, sorry, that's the up half of the wing on. Control surfaces go on, rear bulkhead stroke firewall for the engine. Then build the landing gear up as well. It's like you put a support in and then add the main strut on top of it. Wings go on the Wellington. Put in the door for the rear tail. Build up the vertical tail and control surfaces as well. Skip a page, just skip a page. And then this way you build up the engines and engine cowling. It looks like on this section here you actually put the bombs on the run that sits in the centre, and I think they clip off as well if you're going to put them in without the bomb bay door on, with the bomb bay doors closed. You had essentially 4 sets of bay doors which 2 of them open that way and 2 alongside open that way as well. Building up the turrets. Adding the glaze sections in. Doing the props, final details and canopies, and then that's it. One thing I do want to point out, which I believe was on the first few pages, and this is looking at the fuselage here. There's the cutting out of this section here. Now, it tells you to cut this out, and I'll grab the fuselage quickly as well so we can have a look. And it's cutting out this strip here. Now, I'm not sure of its purpose in terms of the real aircraft, but on the early versions like the Mark 1s like this one is, that wasn't there, which is why we're cutting it out, which maybe suggests that Airfix will be looking at releasing later versions of it. It was almost like a little aero strip that almost went flush with the turret at the back to stop air resistance and air going in there as well. So with this actually being on the kit, it could mean that Airfix are definitely planning to do other variants and later war variants of this aircraft as well, which would be pretty cool. So after look at the instructions and having to go through the sprues, look at the detail on the kit, I can pretty much summarise it as that this is awesome. Airfix have really outdone themselves on this. I know a lot of their more recent kits have been getting better and better, and the new tool stuff is absolutely fantastic. It fits really well. There's really no major issues, not even minor ones most of the time. Shake the box and it could come out made. You know, they really do go together that well. This is another level in terms of sort of inside detail, and I'm really impressed. All I'm going to say is, if this is your sort of build like you like doing 72nd World War II aircraft, go out and buy this kit. Just this video probably doesn't do it justice. Once you open it up and go through the kit and look at the detail that's actually inside it, I was stunned. I'd seen some of the CAD renders, I'd seen some of the sort of mock-ups they'd done at the, I think it was Telford show, and followed it quite closely since they announced it. I think it was last year sometime. I think it was to mark like a milestone in their workbench releases or Airfix magazine releases. They announced it. Yeah, they really have outdone themselves, and I'm really looking forward to build this kit as well. Now, I will actually be recording the full build of this kit as I go through, speed it all up, and I'll do it in section by section. So building the inside, and I'll do the painting of it, closing it all up and doing all the outside. And I'll probably do it over about 3 or 4 videos I'll release as and when I do it. I've basically got another Lancaster on the go at the moment, another one, and once that current Lancaster's done, I'm straight on with this, and the videos will be coming up. So I'm just going to do like a sped up sort of video, can't remember what it's called now, time-lapse video. I'll be doing a time-lapse video of the Wellington and the build painting process of everything to do with it. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you like this review. If you pick up the kit, let me know down in the comments and let me know what you think of it. Don't forget to like the video, and if you've got me on Instagram, say hello as well. See you in a bit, guys. Cheers.